Next is the profession. So, ano yung tinutukoy ng RA 1131 dyan sa, kapag sa profession? Of course, ang tinutukoy natin dyan ay ang criminology. Okay? Profession. So, wala nang iba dyan sa RA 11131. But technically or literal, profession napakarami. Meron dyan professional teacher, okay, meron ding mga professional nurse, okay, professional professional engineer, and so on. Okay? So, sa atin, sa batas natin, RA 11131, pag mention niya ang profession, ang tinutukoy na dyan ay ang the practice of criminology or criminology profession. Okay? And then, we have here the registered criminologist. So, sino nga ba ang registered criminologist na mga to? Okay. Tinutukoy natin dyan sa registered criminologist ay ang mga tao na nakapasa ng board exam, and then meron silang valid certificate of registration na binibigay ng PRC. And then, updated professional identification card. So, ito yung nakita nyo kanina. Okay? Ito, yung identification card na minimension natin doon. Yun. So, hindi lang po identification card. Of course, merong valid certificate of registration. So, wala tayong picture niyan, pero yan ay makukuha natin sa PRC. Okay, and of course, updated kasi merong expiration date yung ating identification card. So, every 3 years, you need to renew it. Na parang driver's license. Na every 5 years, kailangan mong i-renew yung driver's license mo. So, unfortunately sa atin, sa mga PRC license natin, still 3 years pa rin yung expiration date. Hindi pa rin na-extend ng 5 years na kagaya sana ng driver's license. So, that's it for registered criminologist. Soon, magiging ganyan din yung tawag sa inyo. Okay? And then, sa dulo ng pangalan ninyo, malalagyan na yan ng R-Crim. Okay? So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng registered criminologist. That's it. Susunod dyan ay the scope of practice of criminology. So, napakalawak po ng scope ng criminology. Kung ngayon, ang alam nyo lang na pwedeng puntahan ng criminology ay PNP, BFP, and BJMP, hindi lang po yun yung pwede nating maging trabaho in the future or pwede nating applyan na trabaho in the future. So, as a law enforcement administrator, so in any law enforcement agencies, sa LTO, meron din sa Bureau of Customs, okay, Bureau of Immigration, okay, and others. So, hindi lang as an administrator, pwede rin as an executive officer, advisor, consultant, officer, okay, as an investigator, agent, or employee in any private government agency. So, it depends. Private or government, pwede pa rin natin make practice ang natapos natin. Okay? So, quasi-police functions, ibig sabihin yan is yung parang trabaho ng police. So, any government agencies or any other private agencies na gumagawa ng quasi-police functions. So, parang katulad nung trabaho ng police. So, ano yun? Pwede natin example dyan, pagiging security guard. Okay? Security guard, security officer, and so on. Okay? So, that's it for that part. And then, of course, yung kilala sa atin, the Philippine National Police. Pero hindi po ibig sabihin na kapag crime ang puntahan lang niyan ay PNP, hindi po. Okay? Napakarami pa. So, meron pa tayo dito, mahaba-habang listahan pa. Pwede pa tayong mapunta sa NBI, the National Bureau of Investigation. Meron din tayo na ang PIDEA, or the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. So ito ay separated agency yan from PNP. So hindi po yan sakop ng PNP. Ito is directly under the Office of President. So sila yung implementor ng RA 9165 or yung tinatawag natin na Dangerous Drug Act of Dangerous Drug Act. Okay? And then we have here the Bureau of Fire Protection, okay? BFP. And meron din tayo yung BJMP or yung tinatawag nila the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. Okay, so dito rin sa BJMP, I can say na yan ay isa sa pinaka-delikado ring trabaho. Bakit ko nasabi? Okay, syempre, kasi as a jail officer, ang kasama mo na dun ay mga kriminal or yung mga nasentensyahan na may nasentensyahan na, or kung hindi man yung mga napagbintangan or ongoing yung mga kaso nila. Okay, so yun, hindi natin alam na yun pala, hindi mo rin alam yung lagay mo dun. Baka mamaya ikaw pa ay daliin or ikaw ay tsambahan ng mga preso or mga detainee na nandun sa loob ng jail. Okay? And then provincial jail, it's different from BJMP kasi ang BJMP directly under DILG yan. Okay? Pero itong provincial jail, it is under the office of the governor, provincial governor. Okay? So sila ang nagsusupervise niyan si governor ng inyong probinsya. Kaya kung ang maganda diyan, ang kagandahan niyan, kung kilala mo si governor, pwede kang pumunta doon. Sir, pwede po ba akong maging isang part or maging part ng provincial jail? Magtatrabaho ako as a provincial jail officer. So yun. Pero sa BJMP, nako, kailangan mong dumaan sa process na parang proseso ng PNP na mag-a-apply ka sa office ng BJMP. Doon mag-undergo ka ng physical agility, neuropsychiatric examination, medical examination. Okay? So yun yung proseso nila sa BJMP. And then meron din tayo yung Bureau of Corrections. So ito na yung namamahala sa Bilibid Prison. Meron din tayo yung sa Iwahig. Okay? Iwahig Penal Colony. Ayun. So anyway, may encounter natin yan sa correction ninyo. Kung ano yung mga sakop nun or saan nakalocate yung mga penal institutions na yan. So napakaraming ma-discuss dyan. Meron din tayo dito yung the PPA or yung tinatawag nila na Probation and Parole Administration. So usually they are the ones who are engaging in non-institutional corrections. Meron din tayo BIR, pwede rin tayong mapunta dyan. And then Bureau of Customs. So for your information, meron na tayong isang kasama na nakapasok dyan lately. Okay, if you know your senior or alumni named Sir Rolion, siya ay nasa Bureau of Customs na ngayon. Okay, so aside from that, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. And of course, yung functions natin dyan is usually more on security. Okay, not as in yung as an accountant. And any other government or private banks, pwede tayo not only on BSP, Philippine Postal Corporations, and Sea and Air Marshals. So nandyan yung mga Coast Guard natin. Okay, for sea and air marshals or airport police natin. That's it. Next naman dito, hindi pa rin tayo tapos sa scope ng criminology. Meron din tayo dito yung VIP security. Okay, so very important person. Usually those are visitors, okay, or mga presidente, mga representative ng ibang bansa. Okay, meron tayo dito yung yan yung tinatawag natin na VIP security. Just like in the picture, that was the time that was Kim Jong-un came. Okay, so yan yung ginawa niya. Pinag-jogging niya yung mga VIP escort niya or VIP security guards niya. So, for the airport and sea police, okay, as an airport marshal or coast guard, okay. So, sa airport police, that is different from Philippine airport police or yung tinitawag nila na Philippine Aviation, PNP Aviation Security. Okay? So, magkaiba yun. Ang airport police, hindi po yan sakop ng PNP. Ang sakop ng PNP ay ang aviation. So, maganda rin yun. Pero, anyway, yung functions nila ay still dun nakafocus sa airport. Okay? And then, National Intelligence Coordinating Agency or yung NICA. Okay, you can work as a NICA agent. Meron din tayo dito as an Intelligence Service of the Armed Forces of the Philippines or yung ISAF. So, nandito yung logo niya. Kayo yung you can work as an undercover. Okay, intelligence yung tinatawag natin, gathering of information. So, secret gathering of information. Yun yung tinatawag natin na intelligence. Makikita nyo dyan sa mga movies, yung nag-undercover para makakuha ng informations against sa kalaban. And other intelligence service or agencies of the government exercising similar functions. So, meron din tayo sa mga Bureau of Customs, meron din silang ine-employ as an intelligence officer. Halos lahat ng agencies natin, meron silang intelligence officers na ine-employ. Okay? So, that is to take down yung mga nagbabalak ng hindi masama against sa ating organization or as a whole ng ating bansa. So, that's it. Meron din tayo. So, hindi pa rin tapos yung scope of practice. So, di ba? Hindi lang BFP, BJMP, or PNP ang pwedeng puntahan ng criminology. Meron pa. Pwede pa rin kayong maging professor, instructor, or teacher in any university. So, kahit private pa man yan or college, pwede kayong magtrabaho as a teacher. So, kung ayaw nyo sa field, pwede kayong pumasok sa academe na tinatawag nila. Okay? And then, as a technician or examiner or criminalist. So, gaya ng nasa picture, kung ayaw nyo sa field, pwede naman kayo sa laboratory. So, yan ay pwede kayong mag-experiment or mag-test kung yung na-recover ba na evidence ay totoong dugo yan or baka pintor lang yan. Baka naman red yung kulay pero hindi pala yan dugo. That is just a that is just a paint. Okay? So, yun yung pwede nyong maging trabaho. Not only those, pwede rin kayong maging pwede nyo ring tutukan yung mga question documents. Tignan natin yan. Mamaya, meron pa tayo dito eh. Next is, yan. Specialist in dactyloscopy. So, dito sa picture, yan. Mga fingerprints yung tinutukoy natin dyan. Pag-aaralan ninyo kung itong fingerprint ba na nakuha sa crime scene ay same doon sa fingerprint ni Mr. X. Okay? So, kung same yung fingerprint ni Mr. X doon sa fingerprint na nakuha natin sa crime scene, so, anong ibig sabihin nun? Pwede na kayong magkaroon ng lead na siya yung gumawa ng krimen. Question document examiner naman ay dito sa picture na to. So, you are going to determine kung yung handwriting ba na yun is yun yung handwriting ni Mr. X. Baka naman yung suicide note na nakuha natin, hindi pala niya handwriting or pineki lang or ginawan lang na ng ibang tao para masabi na siya ay nag-suicide. Okay? Pero actually, hindi yun yung handwriting na. So, yun yung dinidetermine mo as a question document examiner. Meron din tayo yung lie detection or yung sinasabi nila popularly as polygraph examiner. Okay? So, yan yung nasa movies na nakikita ninyo. Diba? Meron silang kinakabit doon sa tao, doon sa suspect, and then, ini-interview nila or ini-interrogate. Tinatanong nila And then meron silang gamit dyan na nagre-record ng mga responses ng suspect. So yan yung pinagbabasehan nila kung yung taong yun ay nagsisinungaling or hindi. So yun yung polygraphy or lie detection na mention natin dito. As a firearms identification or firearm examiner. Okay, so pag-aaralan mo yung bullet ba na na-recover natin is talagang nanggaling yan sa baril na na-recover din natin sa crime scene. Baka lang naman pinlant yan. Okay? So, baka yung bala na yan is hindi yan yung bala ng baril na na-recover natin doon. So, meron na kayong idea na kung bakang ito ay set up lang ito or implanted lang ang mga to. Hindi talagang ito yung nanggaling doon sa hindi talagang ito ay nanggaling doon sa baril na na-recover natin sa crime scene. Meron din tayo forensic photography. So, specific as a photographer in a crime scene. Okay? Kasi napakaraming klase ng photographer. So, meron yung more on travel, okay, or photoshoot sa mga kasal. Pero, kailangan din natin ng magaling na photographer in taking pictures dun sa crime scene. Kasi isa yan sa importante din sa korte. Kasi hindi pwedeng pumunta yung judge dun sa crime scene and then titignan iisa-isa yung mga yung evidences. Ang babasehan lang yan is more on pictures. Kaya kailangan galingan natin yung pagkuha ng mga evidences dun sa crime scene. Forensic chemistry, substance naman. Okay? Yung mga dugo. Okay, aside from dugo. In cases of rape, meron din yung mga semen natin or yung mga sperms. Okay? Hindi porket white yan na nakita mo dun sa bed yan ang na-rape ay sasabihin mo agad na yan ay sperm cell. You need to confirm it. So, kailangan aralin mo ano ba ang composition ng isang sperm. Tignan mo sa microscope. Okay? And then, i-confirm mo kung yan ay talagang sperm. Baka naman mamaya, yan lang ay gatas lang pala. Okay? So, that's it. That's it as a forensic chemistry or forensic chemist, I should say. And other scientific crime detection and investigation. So, yan. Sa part na yan. And then, meron pa tayo dito as a correctional administrator, executive supervisor officer in any rehabilitation or correctional and penal institution. So, sa mga kulungan naman. Okay? So, you can be part of the BGMP, Bureau of Correction. Okay? Not actually the ones that are engaged doon sa mga preso, but as an administrator. Okay? So, just like in school, we have the admin and then we have the faculties. So, parang kunwari, ang mga faculties natin ay equivalent niyan sa BGMP ay ang mga jail officer natin. Sila mismo yung nag-ooperate or gumagalaw. Pero yung admin natin, sila yung nagpaplano. So parang dyan din sa correction, sila yung nagpaplano ng magandang programs para dun sa mga detainees or mga preso natin para sila ay ma-rehabilitate or mabago or ma-reform. And mas matulungan natin sila na mabalik sa tamang landas. So, yun yung purpose ng correction natin. Not actually para pahirapan yung tao, but para siya ay baguhin. Okay? So, as we mentioned a while ago dun sa theory on positivist. Still on this scope of criminology pa rin, meron tayo dito counselor, consultant, advisor, or researcher in any government or private agency on any aspect of criminological research. So, kung ayaw nyo sa field, pwede rin kayong maging researcher. Okay? So, magtrabaho as a researcher. So, yan. As a researcher or criminological researcher, titignan mo kung bakit kaya tumataas yung crime rate natin dito sa Pilipinas. So, you are going to find out find out the reason, and then siguro dyan sa research mo, after na ma-find out mo yung reason, pwede mo yang i-present sa any law enforcement agencies, and then magkaroon na sila ng idea kung ano yung pwede nilang gawin para masolusyonan yung problema na yun sa criminality na yun. Okay? So, pwede ka ring mag-recommend doon ng mga solutions mo. Malay mo, yung recommendations mo, yun yung hinahanap natin na solution para sa pagsugpo ng mga krimen sa ating bansa. Okay, and then pwede rin kayong maging private investigator kung ayaw nyong magtrabaho as a government investigator or part ng ISAF, NICA agent. Pwede kayong magtrabaho on your own as a private investigator, administrator, consultant, or agent, okay, or private detectives. Okay, so that's it for this part. Next is we have the Professional Regulatory Board for Criminology. So, itutuloy natin yung nasimulan natin kanina about doon sa board. So, ulitin ko, under this 6506, ang composition po ng board natin is 3 lamang po. Okay, so isang chairperson and then 2 membro. Pero now, here in RA 11131, meron na tayong isang chairperson and then meron na tayong 4 na members na i-appoint ng ating presidente. Okay? Sinong presidente? The President of the Philippines. Okay? And then, paano niya pipiliin yan? So, mamimili siya from the 3 recommendees for each position. So, yun, chosen and ranked by the commission. So, nire-recommend ng PRC. Okay? So, mamimili yung presidente dyan. And then, from a list of 3 nominees for every position endorsed by APO. Okay? So, meron ding part yung APO. So, i-endorse ni APO and then yung recommendation ni commission. Okay? Or the PRC. So, that's it. 4 members and then 1 chairperson. Don't forget that. Yan yung bali madadagdagan na yung gagawa ng mga board examinations nyo in the future. And then yan, ito lang yung 3 na na-present ko kanina na members of the board. Sila yung current. Wala pa yung 2. So, still, yung 3 pa rin na to ang existing. Yung 2, hinahanap pa kung sino yung mga yan. Okay? So, that's it for the composition of the board. Further qualifications, of course, they must be a natural born Filipino citizen and of course a resident of the Philippines. Meron din tayo of good moral character. Kahit parang sa mga school na ito yung hinahanap-hanap din sa inyo. So parehas din dyan sa qualifications nila as a chairperson and member of the board. And dapat hindi rin not convicted by a court, competent jurisdiction of any offense involving moral turpitude. Gaya na lang ng pagpatay. So, dapat hindi siya nakulong dahil sa pagpatay ng isang tao. Pag-murder. Aside from that, nag-commit ng rebellion. Okay? Those are acts involving moral turpitude. Usually, yan yung pag-aaralan nyo dun sa revised penal code natin. For number 4, must be a graduate of BS Crim and hindi lang graduate ng bachelor's degree. Holder din siya ng postgraduate degree gaya ng master's. Okay? So, master's degree or kung hindi man, doctorate degree or yung doctor in philosophy and criminology. And kung hindi man postgraduate holder or hindi master's degree holder or doctorate degree holder, at least he is also a lawyer. Okay? So it's either postgraduate degree holder or a lawyer doon. So sila ay pwedeng maging chairperson or member ng board. Gaya ni Attorney Ramil Gabaw, so isa siyang criminology graduate and then siya ay lawyer, kaya siya ay na-qualify as a member or as a chairperson ng board natin. Okay? And then must be a registered criminologist. Dapat lang with a valid certificate of registration. So, hindi peke. Dapat totoo yan. And having at least 10 years in practice of the profession. So, dapat ine-exercise, tignan din natin yung experience niya. Okay? Kung 1 year pa lang yung experience niya as a criminologist or in exercising his profession, hindi siya magiging qualified. It is necessary na kailangan natin at least 10 years. And to the appointment, including no less than 2 years teaching experience of criminology. So, at least 2 years and above experience in teaching criminology or law subjects in full-time or part-time capacity. So, yun, take note, 10 years experience in the practice of profession. So, any in academe man yan or law enforcement man yan, and dapat isa rin ay ito, not less than 2 years. So, at least above 2 years na experience in teaching criminology subjects or law subjects. Must be a member in good standing of the APO. So, hindi ka nagkaroon ng administrative offenses or wala kang na-violate doon sa mga standards or policies ng ating organization, but not an officer or trustee thereof. Okay, so you are not working active doon. So, hindi ka active na part or nagtatrabaho as an officer doon sa ating organization. And must not be a member of the faculty of any school, college, or university. So, hindi ka na dapat nagtatrabaho sa faculty ng ibang eskwelahan or any colleges or university. Kasi anong epekto nun? Baka ikaw ay pag hinalaan na ikaw ay kasi take note, ikaw yung gumagawa ng board examination and then magtatrabaho ka sa isang school. Of course, magtataka na ang mga tao doon pag hinalaan na merong leakage kang ginagawa para sa university na pinagtatrabahoan mo. So, yan yung ilan lamang sa mga qualifications, or that's all the qualifications for chairpersons and member of the Board of Criminology. Next dito ay ang term of office ng members and chairpersons ng Board of Criminology. So, meron tayo dyan 3 years from the date of appointment. Basically, 3 years from the date of appointment, yan yung term nila. Until their successors have been qualified and appointed. So, yun. Just take note, it's 3 years yung term of office nila. Pero yan is also extended. Can be extended. Pwede rin nilang i-extend yan, and then meron din yung conditions, or meron lang yung circumstances na pwede lang silang mag-extend within 3 years. Pero basically 3 years lang yung term of office nila. How about for the applicant for the licensure examination? So, ano naman yung mga qualifications? So, in the future, kayo yung magiging mag-a-avail or kayo yung mag-a-abide dapat dito sa batas na to. So, yan. You must be a citizen of the Philippines, or kung hindi man, a foreign citizen whose country state has reciprocity with the Philippines in the practice of criminology. Okay, so yun, hindi ibig sabihin na ikaw ay foreigner, hindi ka na pwedeng mag-aral ng criminology sa Pilipinas. Actually, pwede ka ring mag-aral ng criminology. Just like in the main campus in Indang, we have a lot of foreign students there. So yun, huwag kayong mabibigla kung meron kayong Arab or meron kayong Nigerian na kamag-aral in the future. Kasi pwede yan. Pwede sila pa rin mag-apply, or pwede pa rin silang mag-aral ng criminology, and then then they can also take the licensure examination in the future. Katulad din kanina dun sa qualification ng chairperson and members, at least they should also be of good moral character, good reputation, and sound mind, meaning normal Okay? Not not in an unsound mind, or sabihin natin na insane or feeble mind. Okay? So body certified by the school where he or she graduated. So ito ay makukuha nyo sa school or dun sa college or university na kung saan kayo graduate in the future. Next naman is itong holder. You should need to be a holder of bachelor's degree in criminology. So yan yung pinaka-basic na requirement para kayo ay makapag-apply or makapag-take ng board exam in the future. And dapat yung school na pagkukunan mo ng kurso mo is accredited by CHED or known by CHED. Okay? So mag-ingat kayo, usually yung sa mga private schools, baka yung pinapasukan nyo na schools ay hindi yan accredited ng CHED. Hindi yan i-grant in the future. Okay? Hindi kayo i-qualify ng PRC na mag-take ng Criminology Licensure Examination. So don't worry, here in CVSU Bacoor Campus, ito ay accredited ng CHED. So wala kayong dapat pag-alalaan. So hindi masasayang yung pag-aaral nyo dito. Siguradong makakapag-take kayo once na nakagraduate kayo dito sa CVSU Bacoor Campus. Okay? And then for number 4, must not have been convicted of an offense, just like dun sa qualifications ng chairman and members ng board. Okay? Not involving moral turpitude. Yung mga kasong pagpatay, dapat hindi kayo na-convict sa mga ganong krimen. Okay? Kasong pagnanakaw, robbery, and kaso ng homicide, parricide, infanticide. So anyway, yun yung madidiscuss nyo din sa criminal jurisprudence nyo. So long as you're not convicted of those kind of offenses, pwede pa rin kayong, hindi na kayo pwedeng mag-take, or yan ay magiging isang basyan nila para hindi ka nila i-grant as an applicant or makapag-take ng board exam in the future. Dito naman, those who failed 5 times, okay, whether consecutive or cumulative. So, pwede kaya silang mag-take pa rin ng examination. Okay, sabi naman dyan, pwede pa rin makapag-take ng examination, pero meron silang condition. So, 5 times, kahit yan ay sunod-sunod na bagsak ka, or nag-fail ka, or hindi man sunod-sunod. Okay, so, pwedeng cumulative na sinasabi nila. Pwede kang makapag-take, pero you must present a certification issued by a reputable institution na ikaw ay nag-take ng refresher course. Okay? Or kinumpleto mo yung refresher course. So, yan yung isa sa pinakabagong challenge ng RA 11131. Parang law na ito. Parang bar examination. Okay? Kapag hindi ka nakapasa ng siguro 2 beses ba yun, you need to take refresher course dun sa law. Okay? Pero sa atin, kapag 5 times ka nang nag-fail, you need to take a refresher course bago ka ulit mag-apply for examination, kasi hindi ka nila tatanggapin kapag wala kang refresher course certificate na may papakita sa kanila. So, huwag kayong mag-alala, pwede pa rin kayong mag-take ng examination kahit kayo ay bumagsak ng 5 beses. Pero imagine, ilang taon nang sasayangin ninyo kapag yun yung gagawin ninyo. So better, kapag once kayong mag-take, ipasa ninyo agad para at least wala nang problema. Next, we are going to talk about the subject for licensure examination naman. So meron tayo dito, or makikita niyo yan sa section 15 ng RA 11131. So ito yung mga subject na makukuha ninyo kapag mag-take kayo ng licensure examination. And then yung mga subject din na may present natin na ito yung mga magiging subject nyo dito sa criminology course natin. Sa 4 na taon na pag-aaral ninyo, ito yung mga may encounter nyo na subjects. Kasi yun yung pinag-prepare natin. Board examination din yung reason kung bakit natin pinag-aaralan nito. Pero not the main reason. Meron kayong big reason na alam ko na dahilan ninyo kung bakit kayo nagtitake ng criminology. Okay? So, meron tayo under criminal jurisprudence and procedure. By the way, ang weight niyan sa board exam ninyo, sa average ninyo sa board exam, 20%. So, medyo mabigat din siya. So, nandyan, subjects na nandyan, Criminal Law Book 1, okay, Criminal Law Book 2, and then Special Penal Laws. Meron din kayo Criminal Procedure, Evidence, and Court Testimony. So, yung mga subjects na yan, makukuha nyo yan mga second year na kayo, itong mga subjects na to, law subjects. And usually, magiging teacher nyo dyan, mga attorney, okay, law practitioner. That's it for criminal jurisprudence. Another subject area is the law enforcement administration. So, that is composed of 20% din. Magkasing bigat lang sila nung jurisprudence. Pag-aaralan naman natin dyan, or yung mga subject na nakapaloob dyan, the police organization. So, I think makukuha nyo to second sem ng first year ninyo. Police organization and administration. Pag-aaralan natin dyan, yung PNP. Meron din tayo police planning. Paano ba sila magplano? Police operations, paano ba nila i-execute yung mga plano nila? And police communication system. Paano sila makipag-usap dun sa mga kasama nila while on operation. Diba? Meron silang ginagamit na codes, etc. Police intelligence, yung na-mention ko kanina, that is more on undercover, surveillance, then paano tayo mag-gather ng information na pwede nating magamit against dun sa kalaban natin or against sa opposition. Or meron yung tinatawag din nilang counterintelligence para mapigilan natin yung mga hindi magandang pinaplano nila against sa ating organization. Meron din tayo the police personnel and records management. More on recruitment ito, and then recruitment and selection. Okay? So, yun yung nandito sa personnel and records management. Meron din tayo yung comparative police system. And lastly, we have under LEA, industrial security management. Next one, we have the CDI. In short, CDI yung tawag nila dito, or the crime detection and investigation. So, 15%. So, actually, ito yung isa sa pinakamahirap sa board examination natin kasi yan ay combination ng lahat-lahat ng subject area ng criminology. So, combination yan ng jurisprudence or yung batas. Kasama na din dyan yung police organization. Okay? Kasama na din dyan yung sometimes the correction, and then criminological sociology or sociology of crimes. Okay? So, yan yung dahilan kung bakit nasabi nila na yan ay isa sa nahihirapan ng mga examinee. And tignan natin yung mga content ng subject area na ito. So, mapag-aaralan niyo dyan, fundamentals of criminal investigation. Meron din tayo special crime or organized crime investigation, fire technology and arson investigation. Meron din tayo traffic management and accident investigation, and lastly drug education and investigation with vice control. So 15% yung weight niyan sa average ninyo. Next is we have criminalistics. So as we mentioned a while ago, yung about sa forensic photography. Meron din tayo personal identification or yung dactyloscopy na sinasabi natin, yung mga fingerprint. Okay? And then forensic medicine, polygraphy, yan yung pinoportray natin dito sa picture. Meron din tayo forensic ballistics, more on firearms. Okay? Paano ba natin masasabi kung saan nanggaling yung bullet? Okay? Nanggaling ba yan sa likod ng victim? Nanggaling ba yan sa taas ng victim? Yan yung pinag-aaralan nila sa ballistics, yung trajectory ng bullet. Isa lamang yan. And then question documents, or yung sa mga peking signature, peke na pera, lahat-lahat na. How are we going to determine those? So weight po niyan is 20% sa board examination. And meron din tayo dito the criminal sociology. So ito 15% yung weight niyan sa board exam. So kasama na dyan yung pinag-aaralan natin yan, Introduction to Criminology and Psychology of Crimes, or in short, Introduction to Criminology. Kasama na din dyan yung Philippine Criminal Justice System, or yung SIL-1 ninyo, and then Ethics and Values, Juvenile Delinquency and Crime Prevention, and then meron din tayo Human Behavior and Crisis Management, and lastly, the Criminological Research and Statistics. Okay, and another subject area is the Correctional Administration. So 10% lang yung weight niyan sa board examination. Pero wag nyong nilalang lang yan, or wag nyong sabihin na 10% lang naman kaya wag bigyan ng pansin. No. Okay, every points in board examination, it matters. So nandyan, dalawang subject lang yan, institutional corrections and non-institutional corrections. So for institutional corrections, more on doon sa loob ng mga kulungan. Pero non-institutional, kabaliktaran ng institutional. Ibig sabihin, sa labas. So meron tayo yung update dito, wherein si President Duterte, pinardon niya si Pemberton. So sino yung si Pemberton na yun? Yun yung foreigner na nakasuhan or nasentensyahan ng pagpatay dun sa gay, or dun sa isang Pilipino na bading na nakasalamuhan niya during the past. Okay? So we don't know the actual or the detailed nung kaso niya, pero yun, siguro dahil sa sabi naman ni President, hindi kayo naging patas kay Pemberton daw, kaya niya ipapardon. So ang example of non-institutional correction is yun, pardon, parole, or parole and probation. Okay, so anyway, yung mga yan ay may di-discuss kapag na-encounter nyo yung itong subject na ito, kung ano ba yung mga qualifications para ikaw ay ma-pardon, okay, or para ikaw ay makapag-avail ng parole and probation. Okay, so for the rating in the licensure examination, okay, for rating in the licensure examination, matatagpuan nyo yan sa section 17 ng RA 11131. So meron tayong scenario dito. Scenario 1, si candidate naka-obtain ng weighted average na 75%, and wala siyang grade na sa bawat subject area, yung na-mention natin na 6 kanina, correctional administration, law enforcement administration, and jurisprudence na yun, wala siyang nakuha na less than 60%. So ulitin natin, 75% yung weighted average niya sa kabuuan, okay, and then wala siyang nakuhang grade na less than 60% in any given subject. So ibig sabihin yan, siya ay pasado. Okay, so he passed the board examination. Scenario 2 naman kaya. For scenario 2, si examinee naka-obtain ng weighted average or rating na 75%, pero nakakuha siya ng below 60%. So let's say nakakuha siya kabuuan ng average niya sa board examination 75, pero sa criminal jurisprudence, dahil sa mahina siya sa subject area na yun, nakakuha lang siya ng 50%. So that is less than 60%. Pumasa kaya siya or hindi? So the answer is deferred. So paanong deferred? Hindi po ibig sabihin na failed yan. Deferred meaning i-hold muna nila yung result mo. So anong kailangan mong gawin para yan ay para maipasa mo yan? okay, you need to retake the particular subject. So, i-retake mo yung criminal jurisprudence. Okay, kung nakakuha ka ng less than 60% doon, yun yung i-retake mo. So, kung criminal jurisprudence, i-take mo yun. And then, kailangan hindi ka na makakakuha ng below 60%. So, kailangan ipasado mo na yung particular subject na yun, and then hindi na magiging deferred yung result mo, i-convert na nila as pass yung result mo. For scenario 3 naman, si examiner nakakuha ng weighted average na 75%. Unfortunately, yung subjects sa ibang sa 6 na subject, na ibagsak niya 3. Okay? Ibig sabihin nun, nakakuha siya ng below 60% doon sa 3 subject area na yon. Okay? Ano ang result nun? Automatic you are considered failed doon sa board examination. So, kailangan mong i-retake lahat. Hindi lang yung 3 yung i-retake mo, kailangan mo nang i-retake lahat-lahat ng subject area. And itong scenario 2 kasi, yan lamang ay kapag less than 3 yung naibagsak mo na subject. So, kung 2, pwede pa rin na yung 2 lang yung i-retake mo. Pero pag umabot na siya sa 3, that's the time kailangan mong i-retake lahat-lahat ng subject na yun. So, that's it for scenario 3. So, yun. Meron tayong further explanation dito. The deferred examiner shall only be allowed to retake once. Okay? Once within 2 years. Sa 2 taon, kailangan mo lang ipasa yung subject na hindi mo na ipasa during your first take. And then, limited ka lang within 2 years. So, yun, kapag 2 years na at hindi mo pa naipapasa yan, automatic you are considered failed or gagawin ng failed yung subject mo na, I mean, yung record mo doon. Okay? And, hindi na 75% yung hinihingi sa'yo. Ilan na? Tinaasan na. Okay? So, kapag ikaw ay retaker, kailangan mong makuha ito. 80%. Hindi na 75%. So, take note of the limit. 2 years, kailangan mong mag-retake. Okay? Within 2 years. I mean, once in 2 years lang. Minsan ka lang. So, kung hindi mo na ipasa yan, maghihintay ka na naman ng ilang taon. Okay? So, ang laking abala kapag binagsak mo yung first take mo. So, dapat first take mo pa lang, ipasa mo na agad yan. So, paano mo yan magagawa? Simulan mo na ngayon na habang ikaw ay nasa first year. Seryosohin mo na ang pag-aaral mo. Huwag mong sabihin kapag mag 4th year na ako, saka ako seryosohin kasi matagal pa naman. That is very wrong idea or wrong decision. Kailangan mong simulan na ngayon. So, yun. Within 2 years, once ka lang makapag-retake, and then, kailangan not lower than 80%. So, yun. At least 80% and above yung makuha mo sa bawat sa subject na i-retake mo na yun. Okay? If the examinee have failed to retake after the lapse of 2 years or failed to get the passing mark of 80%, so hindi mo nakuha yung 80%, mababa ka pa rin sa 80%, yun, the examiner shall retake all board subjects. So, considered failed na, and then i-retake mo na yung lahat-lahat ng subject area. Okay? So, hindi na lang yung subject area na binagsak mo nung una yung i-retake mo. Lahat-lahat na. So, just imagine we have here a record, okay, para makita ninyo kung gaano kahirap ang licensure examination. Tignan nyo yung number. So, 43,512 yung nag-take ng licensure examination. So, this was last 2019. 43,512 yung nag-take. Lahat-lahat ng board examination. But, ilan lamang yung pumasa? 19,000. Nasa kalahati ba yan? Wala pa sa kalahati. Okay, so more on that is 40%. Okay, di ba? So, ganyan kahirap ang board examination. So, sana in the future, isa kayo sa mapabilang sa mga yan, sa numero na yan. Okay? So, paano nyo gagawin yan? It's up to you. Ngayon pa lang. Okay? Na mas maaga. Next is eto. Report of rating. So, usually, 10 days yung nandyan sa batas natin, not later than 10 days. So, hindi lagpas sana ng 10 taon. May release na nila yung rating ninyo or may report na nila yung rating ninyo sa saan yun? The board shall submit to the commission, on the PRC. May report na nila sa PRC yung board, yung rating ng mga examinee, ng mga candidates. Okay? Not later than 10 days, pero yan ay pwede na rin i-extend. Okay? Kasi yun nga, sa dami-dami ng mag-take ng board examination, hindi nila mati-check yan within just 10 days. Usually, aabot yan ng 2 months, 1 month. Gaya ng time namin. Okay? So yun, kung kilala nyo sila, yan yung first batch natin dito sa CVSU Bacoor Campus. Ito yung mga senior ninyo. Okay? Pioneers ninyo. Sila yung kauna-unahang estudyante natin or kasama natin dyan sa CVSU Bacoor Campus na nag-take ng board examination, and sila yung kauna-unahang pumasa na galing dito sa school natin. Okay, so ilan sila? 9 sila na nag-take, and lahat sila ay pumasa. So strict tayo na 100%. And then sumunod yung second batch natin, 2018. Still 100% pa rin tayo. And then sana gayahin nyo sila. Okay? Na ginagawa nila lahat ng makakaya nila, and just to pass, para hindi sayang yung pinaghirapan nila. And same with the third batch, yun, maganda pa rin yung record natin. So dumadami na tayo. So baka kapag in the future mapupuno na or hindi na pwedeng i-PowerPoint presentation yung picture nyo in the future, kasi sa dinami-dami na ninyo. Okay? Kung kayo ay same number as of now, in the future na kayo ay graduate. Pero I doubt meron sa inyo dyan siguradong susuko. Yung iba titigil na, ayaw na, mag-shift na daw ng course. Pero sana naman wag na, para hindi sayang yung sinimulan nyo ngayon na online class ninyo. So that's it. For the oath, that is found in section 19. So this is the time na kayo ay, kapag pumasa na sa board examination, na-inform na kayo na kayo ay pasado, meron nang i-schedule ang ating the PCAP, or let's say the Organization of Criminology. Mag-schedule na sila ng oath taking ninyo. So usually yan yung mag-oath kayo as certified criminology, na kayo ay mag-abide sa mga rules and regulation na ini-implement ng ating board or ng ating organization. So yun, you're going to take an oath, and then dyan din, isa yan sa pinaka I think pinaka-emotional na time ng buhay ninyo in the future. Marirealize nyo yan pag nandyan na kayo in the future. So yan, itataas lang naman ninyo yung kamay nyo dyan, and then susundan din nyo or babasahin ninyo yung oath ninyo. Okay? So that's it for oath. That is mandatory. Usually nire-require yan ng PRC. Bago nyo makuha yung ID ninyo, kailangan nyo munang mag-take ng oath bago nila ibigay yon. So that is nasa batas, kaya mandatory yan. Preference of appointment in government, criminal justice, and other government institutions. So ito rin yung kagandahan ng RA 11131. Dahil sa batas na ito, parang ginagawa tayong special in times of applications. Special in a way na preferred tayo or priority, kumbaga. Okay? Registered criminologists shall enjoy priority of appointment. So tayo yung i-priority, and then i-exempt tayo sa qualifying examination. Saan? Sa mga law enforcement agencies na a-applyan natin in the future. So as I've mentioned a while ago, yung mga scoop na yun, nasa scoop na yun. So hindi tayo magti-take ng qualifying and or entrance examinations in the future kapag kayo nag-apply ng PNP, parang ganun. So ito yung benefit nyo sa batas na to. So hindi na yun hassle sa inyo. Aside from that, you can also avail lateral entry. Okay, paano yung lateral entry? It's different from regular recruitment. So, kung sa regular recruitment, usually ang ina-applyan mo dyan sa PO1 or sa ngayon, nabago na yung ranks ng ating PNP. So, yun, kung dati PO1, ngayon is patrolman or patrolwoman na yung tawag sa pinakamababa. Okay? So, dito sa lateral entry, pwede kayong magdiretso na dito sa commissioned officer. Kung dati ang tawag sa rank na yun ay chief inspector, inspector, dito pala yun. Pero ngayon, ito na ay police lieutenant. So, parang same with the rankings of the military. So, yan yung sa lateral entry. Pwede kayong dumiretso niyan. So long as you possess also the qualifications. Dapat exemplary ka din or competent ka rin or qualified ka for that certain position para ikaw ay mapagbigyan dyan. Okay? So, pwede kang dumiretso dyan. Yan yung tinatawag natin na lateral entry. So, not in just police force, pwede rin kayo sa fire or sa BGMP, pwede rin kayong mag-avail ng lateral entry. And then, pwede rin kayo dito sa jail, okay, as inspectors. Okay? Or hindi man, pwede rin dun sa PDEA kasi may ranking din ng mga PDEA, NBI. So, yung equivalent nun, pwede rin i-avail. So, yan yung nakapaloob sa Section 36 ng batas natin. Okay? By the way, take note of this new classification. Okay? Rank classification. Huwag nyong baliwalayin yan. Kasi, as a criminology, okay, future police officer, dapat alam nyo yung mga yan. Lastly, meron tayo dito yung penal clause, section 37 ng RA 11131. Yung mga penalties dyan na pwedeng nating ma-impose or sinasabi dyan sa batas, it's either fine, okay, or imprisonment. Okay, pwede kang ikaw ay mabilanggo, pwede rin na ikaw ay mamulta, or pwedeng pareho. Okay, ikaw ay mamumulta na nga, makukulong ka pa. So, yun. Fine not less than. So, not less than 100,000 nor 500,000. Okay? So, yan yung range ng pwede nilang imulta sa'yo. Or, imprisonment not less than 2 years. Okay? So, 2 years and above and not more than 6 years usually. Or both. And depende dyan sa circumstances na nakalagay dito or violations na nagawa mo. So, number 1, practicing criminology without valid certificate, okay, of registration and valid professional identification card or valid temporary special permit. So, in order for you to practice criminology, dapat you have a license, okay? So, makukuha mo yan kapag ikaw ay pumasa ng board examination and then nag-take ng oath-taking. Of course, that's the time you can avail this certification and then identification na ito. So, kapag wala ka nito and then you're practicing criminology, automatic you will be penalized under this law. Attempting to use the sealed certificate of registration and professional identification card of a registered criminologist. Okay? Or pamimeke or impersonification na sinasabi natin. Okay? Ginagamit mo yung lisensya ng ibang tao na siguro napulot mo and then yun, chinansan mo, ginagamit mong makipag-transact sa different government agencies. Ako ito, sa akong registered criminologist, sinasabi mo dun. So, hindi po yan ay inaalaw. That is penalized under this act. And then, abetting the illegal practice of criminology by unregistered or unauthorized person for securing through the false information or fraudulent. So, more on forgeries yung minimension nito sa 3 and 4. Okay, so as a criminologist, of course, you should observe or abide with the law. Okay, or you should not violate the policies that are being implemented by the APO or our organization. Okay? And then securing, ito naman yung gumamit ka ng pekeng papeles mo in order to gain or para makapag-apply ka ng examination. So, let's say ikaw ay hindi pala graduate, na make ka ng diploma, pinresent mo sa PRC, and then yun ay nagamit mo na napagbigyan kanila na makapag-take ng board examination. And at the time na natapos mo yung board examination, nakapasa ka, nagpa-practice ka na ng criminology, okay? Yun ay na-find out nila, that's the time you can be penalized under this act, okay? False information, okay? Use of false information, and then impersonating, as we mentioned a while ago. So, wag nyong gamitin yung lisensya ng iba, okay? Especially kapag sa illegal na gawain, or not, hindi rin na-mention dito kung illegal or hindi, di ba? Any purposes na ginagamit mo yan without the authorization of that person, you will be still punishable under this act. So, mag-ingat din kayo sa pagpo-post sa social media ng mga licenses ninyo, kasi yung mga informations na nakalagay doon ay pwedeng magamit yun sa pagkikipag-transact sa bangko or sa anumang agency. So, wag niyo yung ipo-post sa social media yung mga identification cards ninyo. We have also here 6, violating any provision of this act. Okay, so ano man na hindi na mention dito specifically, but nakapaloob dito sa batas na ito, okay, automatically it is still punishable, okay, or penalized by this act. So that's it for chapter 1 of our lesson, okay, or of our subject. If again, I want to remind you, if you have some question, you can just comment down on our comment section, and if not, you can just take it down, and then you are going to, or you can raise that during our synchronous session. And in our synchronous session, we are going to discuss the answers if we can. Okay, so that's it for our discussion in this chapter. Thank you for watching.